ESL live stream is here, hitting solid ground. Mike and Stu, the dynamic duo in sight, helping teachers with English day and night. With their smooth vocals and their peaceful flow, they spread good vibes everywhere they go. From Kingston to Tokyo, they're making it known. English class just got a brand new tone. ESL live stream, helping you teach with ease. Mike and Stu, bringing that reggae breeze. Soulful vocals, taking you to paradise. Learning English has never felt so nice. ESL live stream, helping you teach with ease. Mike and Stu, bringing that reggae breeze. Soulful vocals, taking you to paradise. Learning English has never felt so nice. Listen up, teachers, gather all around. ESL live stream is here, hitting solid ground. Mike and Stu, the dynamic duo in sight, helping teachers with English day and night. With their smooth vocals and their peaceful flow, they spread good vibes everywhere they go. From Kingston to Tokyo, they're making it known. English class just got a brand new tone. ESL live stream, helping you teach with ease. Mike and Stu, bringing that reggae breeze. Soulful vocals, taking you to paradise. Learning English has never felt so nice. ESL live stream, helping you teach with ease. Mike and Stu, bringing that reggae breeze. Soulful vocals, taking you to paradise. Learning English has never felt so nice. Wave goodbye, class done right. ESL live stream, teach day and night. Keep the rhythm, hold the pace. English learning's found its place.
Peace, love, and titch. Welcome, everyone. That's the ESL live stream. First time after the Chinese New Year. It's still the Chinese New Year. We're on the 12th day of the Chinese New Year right here on the ESL live stream. Super happy to see you. Hope you guys doing good. Feel free to leave some message. Say hello. Wish you all the best for this new year. A lot of things happen with the ESL teachers community, ESL teachers home. You've been choosing that community, ask you about the logo and the name. You all chose it, and now it's live. We are almost 40 members. Welcome for you to join. And how to deal with them. Sometimes they can be really naughty. So feel free to leave your questions into the description down below. Teacher William is going to be here, hopefully soon, in a moment with us. So very welcome. Let me know where you're from in the description down below. Feel free to say hello. You see right there? I can see nobody is saying nothing. Come on, guys. Hope you're doing good. And just let's start the live stream right now. Here we go. Rock and roll. Here we are. We are live. Welcome, everyone. Everybody's saying hello in the description. That's awesome. Very welcome. That's the ESL live stream number 100. I think it's 14, 15, or 17. That's incredible. Thank you so much for being here. Tonight, we're going to be talking about kindergarten, classroom management, games, and especially if you got questions, feel free to leave your questions down below. Wish you all as well a very happy Snake New Year and wish you all the best. But without waiting any longer, let's welcome Teacher William right away. Here we go.
Now let's welcome on the ESL live stream, Teacher William.
Hey, Mister, wait a moment. It's going to be better like this. Hey, William, very welcome. How
Hi,
are you doing?
hi, Mike. I'm doing wonderful. How are you?
That's great. I'm good. I'm good. That's a real pleasure to meet you today. We used to contact a lot sometimes because we are both in China. Maybe it would be better to start by introducing yourself. And thank you very much for accepting the invitation today.
The pleasure is mine. I'm happy to be here. Thank you so much for the invite, Mike.
All good.
I am William. I have been in China. This is my 6th year. I did teach kindergarten for over 5 years. And in the interest of full disclosure, I'm not teaching in a kindergarten right now, but I did teach over 5 years. And Mike has been one of the wonderful people who has been very helpful. His channel has been really great. I remember right from the beginning when I came to China, as one of the ones that I just dived headfirst in there, and it taught me a lot. And Mike has been a friend since. And thank you very much for all the opportunities you are creating for everybody. Yeah.
Thank you very much. That's the spirit. All together, we need to help each other. And back in the day when I started in kindergarten, that was really difficult for me. I love this topic, talking about kindergarten. Is one of my favorite students, even if I'm getting old and it's quite, difficult to control. I'm 46. When I arrived in China, I was 23. So this year is like really half half, right? I'm half Chinese now, pretty much. All right. So thank you again for being here and all your good words. I know you're someone who's uh, really active as well to help teachers. I think you have a course actually to help teachers in kindergarten, right?
Yes, I do. I actually do. When you check my website, we have an app, a platform, teacherwilliam.org/courses. There should be a course there you could just sign up. After teaching over 4 or 5 years, I learned a few things that I wanted to share with everybody, to share with those who are either starting or even still in there who might need some help. So I developed that course. It's to help teachers to learn something about kindergarten. Yeah.
That's great. Awesome. So feel free, guys. I just post the that was the QR code. You can just scan it. Let's see a little bit in the descriptions. People saying hello. Safia Belge, hello from Tunisia. As well on TikTok, welcome everyone from Ecuador. We got bienvenido, mucho gusto. And Neil, bienvenido la familia de Ecuador, mucho cariño, viva Ecuador. Thank you. Just trying my Spanish a little bit, right?
That's wonderful. That's
Then
amazing.
D4V Jones, welcome. Living in Wuhan from England. My first day as a kindergarten English teacher tomorrow. Wow,
Wow.
that's awesome. That's great. So that
Wow.
you're on the right place for sure. You're on the right place. That's incredible. Safia saying hello, Mr. William. And we get Catherine as well saying, hello, William. Very welcome, everyone. Um, Here we get for Jones. Oops. Use your games in my class, William. Went down nicely. I start properly as an ESL teacher in China tomorrow. Thanks for your great videos and tips.
Wow.
Yay! Big shout out. That's awesome. And then we get coffee greetings from Ghana. I guess is your hometown, brother. I was
Yeah.
in China,
Yeah.
but just came together
I
before the
okay.
Chinese New Year. Come back, brother. We need you.
Yeah, we're waiting for it.
All right. That's awesome. Thank you, everyone, for being live here and participating. Feel free to leave your questions. I guess you, D4, it's D4V Jones, should have a lot of questions to ask. It's going to start, is it? Yes, it's going to start tomorrow in Wuhan. Great. That's awesome. Thank you, everyone. If you're in the chat, just feel free to leave some likes to help the channel and maybe, some help teachers who need help, right? So more you give likes, better it help the channel and as well help uh, the teachers who need that help. Great, that's awesome. Uh, all right, let's see. I'm gonna share now a little presentation. So we're gonna start on the topic just to make sure we do it the right way. Let me see. Where's William? Yeah. All right. Here we go. It's a little bit better like this. We're on a mobile phone format, so we don't have much place. It's always an issue because many of you are watching the live from your phone. So for more convenience, we live like this. A good 80% of you. That's incredible. Great. So here we're going to talk about, of course, ESL, how to succeed in your class in kindergarten. And we're going to start right away with the first one, the first slide, which is conquer language barrier ESL teaching, right? Let me see, because I don't see it clearly. I'm an old man. What? I got a question for you, um, Liam. I'm going to call you Liam if you don't mind.
I don't mind. It's all right.
We that people don't know the behind the scene. Yeah,
Yeah.
right. A lot of you
It's
know you
okay.
as Teacher William, but on your WeChat
Yeah.
it's Liam, right?
Yeah.
So
Yes.
I'm thinking it's great today that we get D4 VOA Jones right here from England. He is asking, I guess he's got a question about that. What would you recommend to someone who's going to start for the first day tomorrow? What this person should pay attention, what D4 should pay attention to? I think would be a good question. What is good to do day one?
I think day one, I mean, day one shouldn't be something very hectic. It shouldn't be day one, you're teaching the best lesson of your life. So you can like be calm,
True.
you can just relax and make it more of a socializing day, just get to know the people in your school, get to know your administration, get to know their class teacher, try and talk to the class teachers. Don't just get into the class, get serious, try to teach and go away. You can just relax a bit, just go in there. You probably could go earlier, 5 minutes earlier, even before the lesson starts, your lesson starts. which is something I always do. You just go into the classroom, just talk to the students, talk to the kids, walk around, just get comfortable, something like that, before you just even jump into the learning. Right? It's good to just get to know everybody before the lesson time. It makes things more smooth, right? So that's what I would recommend.
That's true. Uh, Completely agree. You got to get. I would say that's what it says. Conquer language barriers as an ESL as an ESL teacher, because I guess for D4 arriving in China, maybe he can speak a little bit Chinese. I don't know, D4. Can you let us know about it? That's going to be one of your issue, of course, but I guess you already figure it out. And you got to be, as a kindergarten teacher, you got to be working for sure on your gestures, your visuals, right? Body language, or what we call that TPR as well, right? A lot of songs, chants,
Yeah.
incorporating music is, it's easy for kids to remember. They love songs so much. I guess and especially warm ups. I get a lot of bunch of warm. I get a lot of warm up for kids for starting the first day. You just go with hello, hello, how are you? You might be good, might be fine, but it's the first day. It's really something I love because the kids don't know you and you don't know the kids. And that's the big issue. You must make sure that, let me go back. So, yeah, we
Yeah,
should be sure
I see the
that
connection.
um, you got to make sure, for example, D4 tomorrow, you really have to pay attention to the kids who's going to be naughty in the class, right? The first day, what I usually do is I just have a bunch of cards for just them to play, have a lot of fun, avoid them to stay too much sit on their chair, because you're going to be facing a good 45, 50 kids in a classroom, maybe. If it's a international kindergarten, you might have like around 15, right? And then, so
Yeah.
yeah, I guess the first day, just let them express them, let them have fun, and you will see this kid's characters, right? You're gonna see right away who's the kid who's gonna be maybe very fluent in English, and you're gonna see the other one who might be, really naughty, who might get others to be all together and get naughty together, a leader, right? Not in the right way. What do you think, William?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, sometimes in the first days when you get to know everybody, where you get to know the good
That's
ones,
it.
like the
Yeah.
really good ones, so you'll see their performance right away. And also the really naughty ones, you will see by how they act in class. Some of them are very rowdy, they run around, all that. So you should definitely pay attention when you go to class for the first time. Yeah, that's really important.
Yes, take notes, maybe. At the end of your class, yes, you can mark, it's really important to remember kids' name as well. It's going to be a big issue remembering that much kids' name for sure. But you'll get it there eventually. Let's see. We're gonna go to the next slide too. If you got questions, guys, let me check out in the description. Thanks for your advice. All good. Here, I got a question from Safia. Mr. William, I need you to give me some tips to start the session, like warm up, motivation, questions for kids. All right. So, when you arrive That's what we were pretty much talking about a moment ago, but a little bit how to start a class, right? How would you start? How do you usually start your class, William? Yeah,
So I'm not sure what level of kids Safia is teaching, but
that's true.
usually there's basically like a 10-step methodology that we all follow. It's not always strict, but then there's that skeleton where you can apply a lot to your lesson. All right. So first of all, you go into the class. You can't just start teaching, right? There's the introduction part where you get to just bond with the kids before you start the main thing, right? So you need to have a way of doing that. You need to have a way of introducing yourself to the students all the time. And I always like to do let everyone sit down. Then I just shout a hello. Then everybody shouts hello, Teacher William. It's just something that we do at the beginning of every lesson. Sometimes if it's this maybe they're a new class, they might not be able to say your name. They might not be able to remember it. And therefore, if you
It's 2
say
months.
hello, they cannot say hello, Teacher William. So you just have to teach them. It's something that happens over time, right? So I like to do that first. Hello, hello, Teacher William, and then I go over to a warm up. So I'll just shout, "Let's." Then they respond, "Sing our song. Let's sing a song." Then we all get up. We do our warm up. We do whether it's gonna be a TPR song or something that gets them, very active for the lesson. That's how I usually start the lesson. So yeah, it's mainly these.
Great. Checking again, a lot of people are asking questions. That's awesome. Thank you very much. Um, here, yeah, I don't speak Chinese. I'm trying to learn, and it's very tough. My girlfriend is Chinese, so I am learning over time. Good. Teachers at home, that's the best one. You got a teacher at home, it's awesome. You're gonna make great improvement D4 for sure. Welcome, Paul, here every time. Moderator on the ESL live stream. Thank you, Paul. I was working, and also colleague, he was in Xi'an as well, where teaching at. I was working in Chinese kindergarten back in 2016-17 when I started my career. First time I entered the classroom with 40 kids and they tore me down. Shocking energy. China is a truly special thing. That's for sure. Completely agree with you, Paul. That's something. You got that much kids in the classroom. It's really, really difficult. So there are a lot of little tips that I would love to give you. You got to create routines, right? Always ask your kids. For example, you can tell a lot of teachers have different ways to do it, but let them understand that they have to sit properly on the chair. It's going to help you in your classroom management. So you have to show them. Believe me, you're going to be tired at the end of the day because you're going to be jumping up and down and if standing most of the time. After, when you know your kids, you can take a sit on a small chair just like them, but at the beginning of the class you're going to be everywhere pretty much. And I hope you're going to have an assistant with you, a teacher assistant, a Chinese assistant, of course you're going to have. But really, when you start the class, just be the bad boy and ask them, can I sit like this? And you sit like a crazy guy, really in a bad way. And they're going to say, no. This is what they can say. They can say yes, no at the very beginning, right? And then you let them understand that they have to put their hands on their knees. So when you say, put your hands, the kid says, on my knees. All right, that's what you can say to them to try to control. And with the routine, every time you're going to have class, every time you use this, you would have just to say it once, and they're going to be sitting straight and quiet. So you still have to do classroom management. Because with 40 kids is going to be a big problem. So, oh, there are different ways to do that. I know that some teachers use ABC, and the kids say 1, 2, 3, but the meaning for them is they have to sit properly, right? What do you, William? Do you have a special one for that one?
Uh, yeah, I mean, there are a lot of call and responses that you can use. For instance, there's one I used to do, like put your finger, then they shout on your lips, and then they do the action, then they sit down.
Mm,
Or you can do, I think there's one
yep.
hands down, then sit down, stand up, sit. And as a teacher, you don't need to stick to one way. You can invent a lot by yourself. For instance, there's one of my favorites is follow me, then they shout follow you. Look at me, then they shout look at you. So it's
Look
just
at
one
you.
of
Yeah.
the ones that I use all the time. I think as time
Because
goes
yeah,
on as a teacher, you will get used to making apps and for yourself. Yeah.
yes, true. Because you're gonna have as well the Chinese teacher, Chinese English teacher who's gonna be teaching. So maybe more than the foreign teacher. I'm not sure how it is, but this is what usually happen. Chinese teacher would say, "Hey," they would use "follow me," and then the kids will say "follow you," and maybe you're gonna use another one, which is good, which is diversity, right? Which is really good. But maybe at the beginning you can follow or not. You just feel it. You see how the class is doing. Some kids get along with English very quickly, and other class really slowly. There's no classes. I've been teaching in kindergarten for a good 10 years, and I've never seen the same class in 10 years. I never had the same class. Every class, because every student is
Yeah.
different, because every student has different characters. So you really have to look to work on each kids for sure. Thank you. That's great. Yeah, Safia was saying 3 to 4 years old. And let me see. Uh, yeah. Hello, great stream, your stream. I'm not sure if it's okay. That should be something else. All right. Here, Catherine, thank you, Mike and William. So many great suggestions and tips. It's really helpful. All good,
You're
very
welcome.
welcome. We're gonna go on with the little uh, presentation. Yeah, so we were talking earlier about barriers in ESL teaching tips. So yes, that's what we go through. Let's go on to the next one. If you want to get that slide, I can throw it into ESL Teachers Home, uh, where you can see the replay of the live. All right, so let's go right to what is this? Yeah, if classroom management. Yes, and so it's going to be a part very important for. I guess D4, who's going to start tomorrow, is going to be classroom rules, right? Like we were saying earlier, clear rules, right? Don't speak too much English. Simple words at the beginning would be really fine. Set routines from day one, then call and response. Gain attention effectively, right? So always ask them to answer, to repeat after you. It's very important. And eye contact, use proximity control. So, yes, try to be active in the class, try to be around the kids. Don't be in your corner, stay there. and don't move. No, kids wants to see you. They wants to, even if they're afraid, maybe two, three of them is gonna start to cry because you look so different. That's what that reminds me my first time in the class. uh, I had people throw me, and that's why Mike's home ESL is here to tell you the truth. I started in kindergarten. My very first job was in a kindergarten, and they just throw me in the kindergarten. I had no idea what to do. It was my first job in China because it was difficult to find a job. So they asked me, um, I had the opportunity, some in with my friends, new Chinese friends. They asked me, right, we get a job, in a kindergarten away from the city. So I say, yes, okay, but kindergarten, I don't know how to teach and all stuff. And then say, yeah, it's okay. You look like a foreigner. You can speak English. It's gonna be fine. Don't worry. And the guy was making that money behind. I was making only 100 for 2 hours, 100 yuan
Wow.
for 2 hours. That was something. And they just throw me in the classroom. And the first day, first class, I look at that kid and I say, with my flashcard, can you say apple? And the kid looked at me and like started crying right away. So, this is, oh man, I get so much stories about it. That's so fun. Yeah. So really, classroom management, you're really working on it for sure. The rules are very important. Any anecdote like this? Any special stories about? Do you have, William, about in kindergarten? Funny ones. I'm sure you get some.
Wow.
Don't be so shy.
Uh, yeah, I mean, after teaching for so long, I definitely must have a lot of them. Yeah, I I mean, there were kids who would just cry when you go to class, and there were those. And eventually, when you're leaving, they don't want you to leave because the class becomes so fun. Yeah, there are a lot of them. Uh, yeah, and now every kid is different, so you encounter all kinds of scenarios. Yeah, so
Yes, for sure. And yes, they gonna hug you.
yeah,
They gonna hug you, D4 for sure. For people who just
yeah,
started in kindergarten, they're gonna hug you even if you don't want to. This is love. Kids don't lie. Their feelings at this age is not a lie. If they hug you, you get it right. It's all
yeah.
good. It's a great point. That means it's a win for sure. So let them hug you. Just grab your pants because when they all grab you, sometimes I remember, that sometimes I almost lost my pants. It was so when the assistant teacher can't control them, ooh, it can get really wild for sure. So, yes, brace yourself. Welcome to kindergarten. In China, 40 of them, man, is going to be something different for sure. Let's go on with the next slide. Let me see, what is it going to be about? Yes, communicate with ESL parents effectively. So this is more maybe in China is going to be more the teacher assistant job, right? To communicate with parents because you get the language barrier. But after the years, you will be able to meet the parents. And sometimes the parents, they like to speak to you, talk to the teacher, even if you're a foreigner. So, yeah, here are some tools, some little ideas that you can use. Realistic goals, communicate expectations early, show progress. You can use portfolio to track learnings. Very important to show the progress to your parents, right? and evolve the parents and engage them in activities that remember when we used to make demo classes, right? You did demo class in front of the parents, right, William?
Definitely, definitely, I did.
Yeah.
So the thing about parents is you need to know that parents have paid money to bring their students there, and they want to see results, and that's very normal, you know. And when parents come, they come with their expectations, and sometimes some of those expectations are not the ones that the school is even there to fulfill. So it is very imperative that you set expectations and let the parents know about them. You let them know uh, what the school can do and what the school cannot do. And you can't tell me the school can do everything, because there are certain things that the school, not necessarily because they cannot do, but because of certain constraints like time and the kids level and all that, there are certain things the school will not go into. So you need to communicate everything very early to the parents. And I understand, because I mean, if you are an ESL teacher and you're teaching in kindergarten, some of these are not necessarily your responsibility. Like, some of these are the responsibility of the class teacher. But then also, you as the ESL teacher, you need to sort of let the class teacher know what their English curriculum is, what their lesson for the semester is. What you need to keep the classroom, the class teacher and the school informed about what the parents need to know, so that they can pass on that information, because they need to know that very early. And they need to also know what the kids need to do and what they as parents need to do to help. Because I've a lot of times had parents, not once, not twice, they will come in, they bring their kids, they don't do anything to help, they don't follow what we say, and then later they'll say that, how is it that my kid has learned for 3 months and they don't know any English? That is something that you are going to encounter. So you should be ready for that. And therefore, it's very important that you communicate what's going on, and you continue to let the parents and the teachers know that, hey, this is what we are doing, this is how your kid is doing in relation to what we are studying at this time, so that when that time comes, you will say that, hey, I told you, I told you everything, right? So it's for your good as a teacher to communicate expectations, let parents know what is going on. Yeah.
Yes, you got to prove, prove that they were, you got to prove that the parents didn't submit the homework, for example. That's thing that happen. Things are happening, but today with the new technologies as well, I guess they use a lot WeChat, or use a kind of app application where the teachers, for example, the kids can just repeat after the on the phone, just like Duolingo, maybe a kind of app, so that they can, that's a proof that the parents were not doing it right. And sometimes
Yeah.
it's very difficult for the teacher. They don't want to be too pushy too, because it's public, especially for private school, when you pay a lot of money for kids to be in that kindergarten, the teachers, they don't want to be too pushy with the parents and the homework, right? It all depends as
Yeah,
well on
that's
the
true.
and
That's true.
and
And I
also
think
with
some of it, you
yes,
need to let the responsibility fall on the school. Like, the school can, for instance, there are parent teacher meetings and stuff like that. So that school has to actually really drill that in, let the parents know that, hey, this is how we do things in our kindergarten or in our language center
true.
or wherever that place is. And therefore, for instance, in my school, we established a routine where I record a video of what we learned in that day. whatever it is, I'd hold a flashcard, I'll make a video, and then I'll send it to the class teacher. All the class teachers would just push that to the classroom, to the class group. And therefore, every kid is supposed to hold that, whether it's an iPad or mommy or daddy's phone, and then say the word, watch the video that I record, say the word like once or twice, and the parent has to record that and send it back to the class group. And a teacher has a book where they mark all the kids that send the video each and every day. And therefore, there's records to show which parents are doing it and which ones are not. So when it comes to a time of reconciliation, the parent comes and says, "Hey, my kid cannot do this." Then we go check and see if your kid actually did follow the rules or the things that the school said to help them learn. So I think you really need to let the school be in charge of this. You as an ESL teacher, you cannot go push parents. And the class teacher also has a certain limit on what they can do by themselves, unless the school has set that standard and they can push it. So I find that this is how it usually works best this way.
Great. Thank you, William, for the suggestions, because when I was my last time teaching in a kindergarten, I think it was in 2011 or 12. It's been a long,
Wow.
long time. And so
Wow.
at that time, it was really different. It was really different. Not much homework for kindergarten. But now in China as well, with the new policies and all stuff, it's kids are learning really overwhelmed sometimes. Uh, but they have to go back home and review, and most of the parents in China, it's difficult for them to let them review because they cannot speak English. And if it's grandpa and grandma who cares about the kids, it's even worse. So
Yeah.
that's also a thing. The culture in here in China is a great example for that. You have to trying to understand Chinese as much as quick as possible. It's when I first arrived in China, I was like, damn, I, w- I'm never gonna be able to speak Chinese. And after the years, listening, and you just become a student too, right? You got to learn,
Yeah.
but you don't have a teacher, so you got to go and ask people. And that's what I was doing. I was asking all the time. And today, my Chinese, 没问题. No, I speak the dialect even. So,
I I I I
um,
I think the best advice I can give for those who are trying to learn the language, and especially if you're in kindergarten, like that's the best place to be if you're trying to learn the Chinese
mm,
language if you're new. And I
that's
say
true.
that particularly because when I was teaching, because you're teaching the kids the very basic stuff, like you're teaching them Apple, like they
Exactly.
want to learn Apple. And whenever you pick up the car, they're gonna say the Chinese one first. And that is where I learned it from. So if you're teaching colors and you pick up the red color, they are gonna shout the Chinese one first. So if you pay attention with time, you will start to pick it up. So yeah,
Exactly.
you can do
That's true.
that.
That's how you learn. So,
That's how I learned.
in the remember, you were. Sometimes I use the kids and say, "All right, now let's welcome Teacher Tom. You're gonna be a teacher now," and then for him to repeat in front of everybody, and that was they love that. I want to be a teacher. I want to be a teacher. And then so they came in front and say the guy didn't say apple, he said 苹果, and I said no, you got to say apple. So it's funny with kids, they're so lovely at this age. Great, let's go on with we're oops, sorry. Man, yeah, so teaching ESL with limited. Sorry, sneezing. Teaching ESL with limited resources, that happens sometimes. Um, yes, sometimes it can happen that you have very few resources that remember few when I have very few things. So what you can at the minimum would be flashcards, of course, to create learning tools easily, puppets that you can use, stories, of course, to engage students creatively, online resources. Of course, you can find a lot of material online. And what I would recommend when you have limited resources like this, remember you are in, and the environment is just you get real tools right away. You don't need that flash. You can just go. Maybe you're gonna be teaching fruits. Well, that's they are learning as well in Chinese. So you might find some plastic fruits of the of your kindergarten. Use your environments, even if you don't have, or if the kindergarten do not bring you some, go find it. And remember, your classroom environment is full of colors, shapes, little plastic stuff that you can use, and kids gonna love it and they're gonna remember it. Why? Because they're gonna see it every day, and this is good. They're gonna remember it more than the Chinese teacher. Why? Because this is a foreign teacher, someone different, looking like or speaking another way. He might even remember the Chinese word because of you. So using your environment a lot. Another tip I can give you guys is when I teach, oops, where is our teacher William? He's gonna come back. Yeah. When I was teaching, when I was teaching kindergarten, I remember teaching shapes. So I would use my fingers, right? Fingers, triangle, make fun, Pop, pop. Rectangle. And then I would ask them to find shapes in the classroom. What thing is what shape? So you can say the light is a circle, right? So that's use your environment sometime, and you're gonna see that the students gonna love it. Of course, they're gonna run around the classroom, but they're gonna be super happy and say, "Yeah, look, that's really impressive. That's pretty cool." Great. Let's go on. I was checking as well the different message. If you guys have questions, feel free to ask your questions. We got 10 minutes left with Teacher William. Feel free to ask any question. Hats off, Mike. True respect of a foreign teacher who settled in China and really dedicated his life for teaching English, creating such an amazing teachers community. Thank you. Yeah, that's teacher community that's just out. I just started to create just a little. Um, you can find all this stuff on uh, ESL Teachers Home. Very welcome in the community. Teacher William is there too. There are a lot of. I just started. The goal of this community is just like today. You see, I guess we had a viewer from William YouTube channel who came and say tomorrow is going to be my first day. He was watching William's videos, great help as well to start, and that's all about it. I I've been thinking of this for a long time and created this ESL teachers community, which is really awesome. You can, just like what we are doing today, talking to each other, sharing our experience, and this is very, very important. That's a free community. It's not, there's no paywalls except for my courses and my ebook that will be on. And you will find as well Teacher William ebook. I will, after the live, I will send, a kind of a, how to say, uh, a little report. So you will be able to check what we've been talking about. And if you want to go on following Teacher William, he's got awesome videos on his channel. So please go check out Teacher William. A lot of stuff to learn. This is your channel on YouTube. Teacher William is doing really great. I'm really happy to have you here. That's the spirit of Mike's Home ESL on the ESL
Uh-huh.
live stream, and ESL teaches home. So let's go on. Maybe before that was Paul who was asking in the live. Thank you, Paul, for trying to help everyone. It's not easy, in this world. I know that some teachers have difficulties. Teaching is difficult, but we got to keep on doing our job for the good sake of our children. Boost your ESL skills and professional development. That's all about it. We were talking about courses, even small courses like mine, my course and William's course. They are golden courses because they are not very expensive, and you can learn from people who's been really working in it a lot. So ESL workshops. It's good to participate to ESL workshops. You can stay up there with trainings and teacher communities. That's what we were talking about, and teachers webinars. Right. Okay. Let's see the next one. Here, what do we got? Play-based learning in ESL classroom. Interactive games boost engagement. Drama and role-playing encourage creativity. Picture books, of course, to simulate interest. So all of this are, is what we can call it, that blended learning. Try to make a mix of all the tools that you have today. Many kindergartens now, they have what do we call smart board, right? Did you have a smart board in your class, William? I mean, like, or
Yeah.
projector?
We
Yeah, yeah.
actually, yeah, there were TVs in all the classes that I did teaching. So there's a TV where you can have videos on there. You can, if you have some sort of PPT or some sort of PPT game, you can use it for that. Yeah.
Yeah. And I guess you also had like I mean, when I mean smart board, you can touch the screen and
Ye-
it's
yes.
gonna
They actually the
just like a
TVs
phone, right?
could do that. Yes, the TVs
Sorry.
could do that actually. The TVs that we
Yeah.
had in the classroom, you could switch it in different modes and they could do that. And with the play-based learning, especially for those teaching in the kindergarten, it is really important and essential because they're kids. And if you want to remove that barrier between their learning and what they're learning, between the kid and what they're learning, it is important to incorporate some sort of play-based learning. And with play-based learning, it allows the kids to have a first-hand interaction in a play form so that they can visualize and experience what they're learning. So, for instance, you can have games that incorporate, maybe if you're learning fruits, you can bring fruits. You can let the kids play with fruits, or some anything that lets them interact directly with what they're learning. Would be really helpful. So one of the things that I love to do is when I'm teaching, I miss all the flashcards and all the games and stuff. I would actually just zoom out, put the flashcards and stuff away. If what we are learning, if we have it in the classroom, I'm just going to take the kids around the classroom to have some sort of experience with it. We're going to run around, we're going to pick up the chair, and we're going to go to the school bag. Everyone's going to go bring their bag. Just make it as live as possible, so that the kids, it makes it easy, because that experience will have some form of imprint on the kids' mind, and they can easily
Awesome.
remember and learn effectively what you're teaching them.
Yeah, that's quite the deal. Because in kindergarten, I think as a parent, you really have to control your kids' screen time, with all this stuff. It's something that you really have to pay attention, especially in kindergarten. And but at this age, they know that phone has a lot of fun stuff, and this kid at this age, they might be young, but they know how to use it, sometimes even better than you. So
Mhm.
it's difficult to go against it. You cannot change things. So uh, kids start to have less attention, less engagement when you are teaching the traditional way, right? So it's very important to use these tools sometimes, right? Just like blended learning, which means you switch to a game in the class, the role play, then you can use the smart board with a little song or even with a game. But I would recommend not too long, especially for kindergarten. But you cannot ignore those tech tools and the screen, because that's there are lots of apps that are really interesting, that can help you. Whiteboards from there are a lot of whiteboard in this world to help and get the kids engaged 100%. So it's good. It can be a great tool, but not all the time. That would be my suggestion, and use it the right way for sure.
Indeed.
And here we go with. I always make mistake. Let's go with building confidence. This is the next slide. One of the last slides of tonight. So you can build confidence in young ESL learners, right? Positive feedback, encourage efforts, fear-free speaking, create a safe space, right? Simple task, and ensure early success. So yeah, you always have to support your students instead of. What do you think? I thought you would wanted to say something. Supporting students is very important, like to uh, reward them, right? Maybe do not reward uh, the person, but reward what they were doing, reward their job, so that they gonna do it again, right? You can say, yeah, you did a good job. Yes, keep on. Re Reward what they've been doing, right?
I
I think it's
have been
very
in the
important.
classroom long enough to see that sometimes the most confident during a lesson who try to participate are those who know what you're teaching, or those who know it. All right. So if you're teaching colors, that kid who has learned colors already before coming to class would be probably the one with their head held up high and would, participate in your lesson and all that because they know it. And if you want to instill some sort of confidence in the kids, you need to make sure your lessons don't don't do like leaps and bounds. You need to break down the things you teach into little chunks that the kids can go along with. Because if you make it in such a way that it's more difficult, they're going to it's going to make it that's going to sort of bring down their confidence because they will feel like, hey, this is just too much for me to learn. So one thing you can do also is you can send what they have to learn ahead of time, which is one of the things that I started doing when I was teaching in
Flip
the kindergarten, is that
flip learning.
I would record everything that I have to do for the semester. So if it's 100 flashcards, we made a video of all 100 flashcards. We had everything printed and the parents bought it. So they know according to the plan this is what teacher William is teaching tomorrow. And therefore, if I take the flashcards and I have the video of teacher William, I can actually start teaching the kid before teacher William teaches it tomorrow. And you would find that that gives the children some sort of confidence because they know that, oh, like mom took me through it yesterday. So I sort of know it even before you're teaching it. So I will have the confidence to participate. That is one way. Also encourage the kids, take it one step at a time, teach bits and pieces. Don't bundle it together and just throw it on them. Yeah, I found this
Good.
helps.
Great. Thank you very much for your expertise because mine is still back in old time. Teaching in kindergarten was for me a long time ago.
The
But
worst,
yeah,
Mike, the worst.
yeah,
Your ideas are so great.
it's
The worst.
yeah, especially with today with like what you were talking about was called what we call the flipped learning. So you flip. It's teaching ahead, which is uh, quite interesting. Managing disruptive behavior in the class. So yes, can you guys see that? Not yet. Here we go. It's going to be here. Managing disruptive behavior in ESL class. So yeah, we got to redirect attention, engage with tasks, of course, non-verbal cues, and manage subtly. Right. Structure breaks and provide short poses. Right. So, uh, when you have a disruptive students in the class, really you gotta find ways to
Mhm.
control him, and it's always a big deal because mostly the kid who is naughty is also a kid who's very spoiled, especially in China,
Mhm.
in by not dad and mom, but grandpa, grandma. What do you think?
Wow. This Mike is my greatest discovery teaching kindergarten, right? Is classroom demographics. That I would say is my greatest discovery. And I say that because I saw a lot of times, no matter what class you go to, there's always a division, a threefold division. The top kids who are really good comport themselves, wonderful behavior, they'll sit by themselves. And the middle chunk, you have those who will follow whoever is doing what. And then you have
Mm.
the back 20% who there is absolutely nothing you can do about those kids. And they are the disruptive behavior kids, right? And I have made a video about this, and this is a part of my course. I have made a special video on class demographics. And what I truly believe, or I discovered this while teaching, is that there is absolutely nothing you as a teacher you can do by yourself when it comes to kids with disruptive behavior. You can try as much as you want, but let's take a scenario. Let's take that there's one kid in your class who decides, hey, today I'm going to just shout, do whatever I want. What exactly are you going to do to stop that kid? One, you can't beat the kid. Two, you can't verbally abuse them. Like, there's literally nothing you can do to stop that kid, right? So, one, in order to deal with students with disruptive behavior, first of all, involve the class teacher, level one, and then you involve the school, level two, and then you have the school involve the parents. This is good for a couple of reasons. One, it's good for you, the teacher, because that's going to vindicate you if anything happens in the classroom, right? So if something happens in the class and they come and say that, hey, teacher William did this, you're like, hey, I told the teacher this is what happened. If the school comes to you, that works for you. If you tell the school that there's a kid in this class that is doing this, that doesn't work. If something happens, the school is aware of that. So that vindicates you. And if you involve the teacher, if you're gonna make any change at all, if you're gonna help, if you're gonna have the kids be good or change or whatever, it has to start with the parents. You cannot do anything without the parents' involvement. That I will tell you for a fact. You can try as much as possible. The best you can get is to have a controlled class and teach your lesson, and that's it. But with changing the kids, you should involve the parents, I would say.
Yes, and because usually it take time. It takes time because at this
Yeah,
age,
yeah,
and when it's grandpa, grandma caring about it, it's even getting very complicated. So yes, for your security, that's especially for that, make sure to go to your assistant or to the school. Well, the assistant might be going to the school before, like you said it very well, William, before they reject all the responsibilities on you, the teacher. Make sure to do that. But some students can be like you were talking about the ones who are really there's nothing else, there's nothing to do with it. You can't change them, but there are some where you can change, all right,
yeah, absolutely.
with conditions. That's what back in the day, 10 years ago, we were using a lot in the classroom with the stickers. You know, you just have to find what they like, and then you candies. A lot of teachers are going to use candies, stickers. Well, you got to be careful with that. But usually, the school can even give you some, or you can have your own rewarding board in the back where you reward each students, and this is how you can control your this misbehavior in the classroom. But like William was just talking about, kids like there's nothing to do, they don't care about anything, they don't want stickers, they don't want candies.
They
And I
have to.
met those
They
kind of
will tell
students,
you they
and these
have
guys, they are a pain.
to.
But
They will
it
tell
doesn't
you they
mean they're
have
not
stickers at
smart.
home.
But it doesn't mean they're not smart. They're just because they're too smart for some of them. They're too bored in the classroom. They've seen it all. They've seen it all. They are the advanced one sometimes. That's so funny. Right. Okay. So yes, be careful to manage as much as possible, because if you can't manage your class, this is going to happen. What's going to happen is like you're going to feel like not good, right? So ESL teacher well-being and self care matters, right? Set boundaries, practice mindfulness, and stay active, right? Connect with fellow ESL teachers, recharge, and prevent burnout. So that's pretty much all about what we had today about this little presentation to keep us, especially when we're doing the live, is good to have a little presentation for you to know where we are at and for uh, other people as well to and for us to help us with all this. Right. Okay. Great. Thank you very much, William, for coming today. Any advice that you would give to, uh, let me check out to a teacher who's, I don't know, in a burnout, for example? Do you get any advice?
Yeah, I mean, it's like you just need to take good care of yourself.
Mm.
You need to you need to incorporate yourself, like you need to be a part of your environment. I did live in a city that had only one foreigner for over 4 years, just me, just the one foreigner in a very remote area. And so
Mm.
in a time when you cannot speak the language and you can't do much by yourself, it could get very exhausting. It could, and you cannot go to a lot of places. You go to school and then you come back home. All right. You need to you need to set some limits. You need to also break some boundaries. You need to go out. You need to go into the community, go into places where you will engage with people. Go to the malls. There definitely might be a mall in your place, a shopping center. Go to the park. Just engage with people. Don't make it just about the work and then, and then
Go to the
every
bar.
time. Yeah. Just be a part of the environment. That's all. Just don't be
Enjoy your
isolated. No
time.
man is an island. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
it's very important. Thank you very much, William. So don't forget to follow Teacher William on his YouTube channel, which is going to appear right here. I'm going to send as well the link into the chat. I already did, but right here is right here. Here we go. And of
Thank
course, as well, his course, right? Can you tell us a little bit about your course?
you.
How many units you get in your course?
I've got 6 units.
6 units. Yes. So that's
Yeah. So
uh,
when you open teacherwilliam.org and then you go to courses or /courses, you should see it right there. It's
I
there.
get the link into
And
the. I just send the link. So feel
yes,
free, everyone, to go check out William's course. Awesome. It's going to
there's
help
40
you, especially.
videos.
I was
Yeah,
sorry.
there's 40 videos, 40 different videos that you can watch through the lesson.
Isn't that awesome? Yeah. All right, cool. So all the different links are right there. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, William, for joining today. That was a great pleasure to talk about one of my favorite subject, one of my favorite students' age, kindergarten, because we usually 4 years when you arrive in China, this is one of the first easy job to find. Working in kindergarten is an easy job to find, but now I don't know, with policies and all stuff might be a little bit more complicated. Well, anyway, there's like my father always used to say, and my father is an old teacher, retired teacher. My father was always saying, whatever. When there's a problem, there's always a solution.
Okay. Yeah.
So, and if you got problems, guys, feel free to come on the ESL live stream or go and check out Mr. Teacher William. Thank you, William, for coming today. Wish you all the
The pleasure
best.
is mine.
See
Thank you
you. Bye bye.
too for the
Cheers.
opportunity.
Really
Okay.
appreciate your time
Goodbye.
too. Thanks, man. That was awesome with Teacher William. Don't forget that you can go and check and watch the replay if you miss the replay, or if you miss the beginning of this live. You can go on the new community that I just opened. I'm just checking for here it is. A community of teacher just opened the ESL Teachers Home. You've been asking for a community, and I ask you what name you would like and what logo you would like, and here it is. It's live. We had a live yesterday for the launch. We are already 40 members in ESL Teachers Home, and feel free to come. It's also very friendly use. You can use it on your phone. It's a really awesome little platform. Feel free to join. That's the spirit. You get so many sections where you can ask for help. You get also ESL lesson, free ESL lesson plan, and you also have my ebook, who is free. My new ebook was just free for 4 days. There's 4 days left, so feel free to go check out that ebook. The ebook name is uh, Lessons They'll Love. Believe me, it's a guide about innovative teaching method and strategies that you can use in your class, because with the evolution of technology, kids becoming more screen addicted, it's very important for us teacher to evaluate as well and try to find the balance of traditional teaching and innovative strategies. So over there, we have tech and tools in the community to help you find new stuff, new tools. Really, that community here, you get everything. You get even hobbies where you can just chit chat and share. You always have to take it easy a little bit at time. It's difficult to be a teacher, a lot of things in your head. So please feel free to check out ESL Teachers Home. I've been working on it for a good year, and it's all free except for courses, of course. Welcome to join, chit chat, and I will see you next Sunday on the ESL live stream. Uh, if you join the community on ESL Teachers Home, you would be able to have lives with fewer people. You can ask, I can help you. So we're going to have some workshops there too. I just received a mail from Michael B. Horn from Harvard University. He is specialist in blended learning. And he said, yeah, Mike, anytime. He's willing to help as well in ESL Teachers Home. So that's really awesome. Feel free to join that ESL Teachers Home, and I will see you very soon. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, MLSM. Thank you to all of you for being here today. Together, we're stronger. And that was the ESL live stream. Mike from Mike's Home ESL signing out. Cheers, guys.